All right. Okay, now we can start. All right, welcome everyone. So we're on session 6A, mapping it out, membership planning and timelines. And we have two great presenters today. I think we're framing it the Battle of the Carolinas. So at the end, is that correct? No, we're not. At the end, we're going to vote and see who does a better job. So, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. Anyway, we're already off the rails. Great start. No, but sincerely, I do want to give a shout out to Megan Duffy. So, she's on the programming committee, and she was actually in charge of this session, and she's actually a presenter. So she basically planned this entire thing, and she said, "Ethan, would you be willing to introduce us so I don't have to introduce myself?" So that's why I'm up here just being a little clown or whatever. So, all right. On that note. So obviously the normal housekeeping items. So we'll go through their presentations. Please save your questions, definitely write them. And then I think we'll have at least 15, 20, if not more minutes for questions. Just make sure we use microphones so those that are watching on the video recording can hear what we are talking about. So with that, if Laura is ready. So our first speaker is Laura Bundrick from the University of South Carolina Alumni Association. Laura is the VP of Strategic Partnership and Engagement at the University of South Carolina Alumni Association. She oversees all aspects of revenue generation for the association, including ring sales, membership, travel, corporate partnership, and giving. You are busy. Laura also supervises signature events, including homecoming, Gamecock sports preview, and tailgates. In her free time, Laura enjoys cheering on the Gamecocks whenever possible, being an awesome aunt, and working in her yard. Laura Bundrick.
Thank you so much. All right, we're going to use this guy. Well, no, no, we're not going to use this guy. What the heck? I can do this. Will this work? What? Okay, there is our session. Are you all here for this session? Oh, there's me. Okay, so we are off to a really roaring start today. I'm just going to kind of do an overview of our program. Lots of you in here are experts at membership, so this will be a little repetitive, but hopefully some good information, and just kind of walk you through basically where we always start, which is with metrics. So again, so exciting for 9 a.m. But I think knowing where your data is, knowing your metrics around membership is probably the most important thing you can do. Because if you don't know that, you don't know where you're going or what you really need to lean into. Just sharing this with y'all, really what I want kind of a takeaway from this is we had not spent a whole ton of time focused on membership prior to, really FY22. And so through just a lot of dedicated effort over the past 4 fiscal years, we've been able to grow to up over 15,000, which is not a huge number for some of y'all, but for us, it's a really great one. And it's really just required consistent effort. This was probably where we were struggling the most. We were not renewing people. So we're spending a lot of time and effort trying to get new people in the door, but we weren't getting the lowest hanging fruit, which were renewals. So renewals have gone up almost 30% in 4 years. So it just makes it easier when you can renew people and you're not having to start from scratch. Okay, y'all, this is probably my favorite thing that I have done while I've been at South Carolina. We created a membership dashboard. I should actually pause and say we are a separate 501c3 from the university, but we have an agreement with the university for data sharing. So we are able to utilize the CRM, the main CRM for this for the university. So I worked with them to create this dashboard. It took a long time, but all these numbers populate in here. It updates daily. This is a little bit old just because I had to get my slides in, but obviously you can see all the numbers it gives you. It continues to calculate. So like, it's giving me some of these numbers are a little hard to follow. I tend to just focus on the ones furthest to the left. So current, new annual, new life, who's rejoined, who's renewed of that renewable, so that then I can see where my renewal percentages, and then it does it by month. So this would have been like all of last fiscal year. So then I can see, Okay, for some reason in February we did really well. What was why was that? Some reason for some reason in November not so great. What do we maybe need to do in November next year? So this is just great. We this is built from scratch. Um, just working with our IT department to get it going. It shows us this. So what is this showing me? Oh, this is just over a year. I don't know why those little guys got smaller there, but got up over 15,000. So, um, and then I can compare fiscal year over fiscal year so I can see like this is the number I really was worried about here, the renewal percentage, because you can see in FY22 we were only renewing 12%. Womp womp. That was not good. So to get that up close to 40% was really awesome. So but really the point here is not that these are good numbers, it's just that they're numbers and they help us know what we're doing and they really help us track and keep going. So I really encourage you, if you don't have a good way to track what you're doing with renewals, rejoins, new, etc., that you have some sort of way to do that. All right, I'm just going to run through our current program. This is probably rinse and repeat for a lot of y'all. We have 6 different levels right now. Those are how our costs. This is what you can buy from our main page or purchase from our main page. So retention, really what we focus on, renewal emails. This is kind of the cadence of when those go out. So 30 days prior to expiration, month of, we're on a rolling membership. 30 days post, 12 months post. We threw that one in there to see how it goes. It seems really, really long away, but we were noticing our like recently our lapse numbers were getting higher and higher. So we were trying to figure out how to get them after a good bit after expiration. And then direct mail, we have a great partner we work with on this. 60 days prior, month of expiration, and 60 days post expiration. And those go out. The first renewal is the whole kit and caboodle with like the actual little insert that says why you should join, and then a form. We still have people that mail forms in. Like it's crazy to me, but yes, it still happens. Otherwise, I would say no direct mail, but it works. But we do have an embedded QR code, so if you don't want to do actually mail a check-in, you can still do it online. But so we still do them. We still just go the old-fashioned way. And then this next stuff, this is really just to show all the social. We do a lot of social media. We kind of throw a lot of things at the wall. We steal some things, so you may see some things up here that we've stolen from you. Member perks, Oklahoma State took it right from y'all. Okay, amazing. Amazing. So we tried to do, you can see here in, around Thanksgiving, we tried to do a thank you. I heard a great presentation yesterday where they do like an actual member appreciation week. I think we're going to shift to that. I love it. Member perks, where we're basically saying if you're a member, you have an opportunity to win this trucker hat or whatever that's called. We try to really promote events that are for just members so that is consistently out there in social media, that if you join, you get to come to this event. And this is probably one of our most popular events of the year. And you can see it's sponsored, which is like another line of revenue for us. So we're trying to keep it going here. So that's all to kind of help members remember why they should keep being a member. This is how we go out there to try to get new members, so brand new people. We did a campaign last August for young alumni, $600 for a life membership and a brick on the horseshoe, which is kind of the center part of our campus. It didn't do so great. We only got 40 new members. I mean, it was fine. So, we did it. We try to see how it goes, and then we move on. This one does so well for us. We've done it 2 years now. So we do join and make a difference. We have a pantry on campus for students and faculty. We actually make a donation back to the pantry based off the number of members that join in December. So we had 300 new members in December. So we donated $10, and that ended up being 3,000 that we donated back. We partnered with the First Lady. So anytime you can kind of get that goodwill across campus, that's always good to do. So getting the First Lady involved, and she was really excited about it. Then the president was really excited about it. So that one does really well for us, and gets us a lot of good kind of goodwill across campus. And these are kind of 2 things last year. We were like, okay, let's try to put some stakes in the ground and try some pillar programs and see how they go. And you'll see. as we go through a little bit. And then November and April are always our new grad life offer. This one like does amazing for us. We do $500 for life membership and a brick. Mostly parents are buying this, which is interesting. But we got 231 new grad life members in fiscal year 26. So that's a really good one for us. There's cute little cocky. Um, and then join in June. Honestly, we throw this in because we're at the end of the fiscal year. We need to round it out and get some numbers up. It's usually a discounted offer, so $40, 50. Y'all can read all that. Oh look, I forgot to put how many new members we got. Whoopsie daisy. We got some new members. Woo-hoo. I think it ended up being around like 250 annual members. So it was good. But again, I think the point here is like you just keep it going. All right, so here's some things we've tried on social media. We did join and get a bandana, a pet bandana. This was super fun. We got great traction on social media. Guess what? We didn't get a whole lot of new members, but it was cute and we tried it. So, there's always this constant struggle between, honestly, I don't know if y'all have this or not, but one of the things we kind of struggle with our communications team is what is going to be engaging and what is going to work on social media. So this did, but then it didn't actually sell membership. So we got to kind of marry the two things somewhere in the middle. And it's honestly, it's just a struggle. I don't know what works on social media all the time. I don't know what sells all the time. So we gotta kind of communicate and try to figure that out. Cute, but didn't work. Not that it won't work at your school, but it was cute. We have done really well on things around athletics. So if we can bake it into something that's happening, this one was 30% to celebrate the three SEC championships for women's basketball. Um, Women's basketball is a big deal at our school. So that actually went really well because it had a lot of traction, a lot of attention. People were kind of tuning in. So that one worked really well. So if you can find a moment, if it's an athletic moment or anything else that's kind of happening, the challenging thing I will say about these is you got to do them like right then. You got to get them going and get them going quick and get some graphics and some mailers out. And so you got to turn it around really fast, but they do tend to work. This was our join in June this year. So just sharing that, we tried to, make it a little bit different. So, just some different social media stuff we've done. Again, getting the first lady involved really helped because it's like she's endorsing it. So that gets you some extra, kind of oomph behind it. Let's see what else I got here. Okay. So we started doing paid social media. These are just two of ones that we've done. These run all the time. So I don't understand the metrics behind them, like who's actually seeing them. Someone else way smarter than me knows that. But these run all the time through social. And just kind of the idea is just to keep this really consistent, present message out there. So even if you're not seeing our social, even if you're not getting our direct mail or you're not getting a renewal or whatever the case may be, you may have one of these pop up in your feed. Let's see what else I got. Oh, lapsed emails. So this is one of the things we struggle doing, and I've heard a lot of great stuff this week about segmentation, and I think this is one area we need to apply some better segmentation. So in the past, we've just done, hey, let's do an email to our last 5 years lapsed members every 6 months, and this is kind of what it looks like. But I encourage you to try to find some ways to segment within that. Obviously we've talked about it this week. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can do it kind of like by how much they've given or when they most recently did it. So the most recent, or you can segment around like how far out they are from graduation. There's a lot of different ways to kind of do the segmentation, but so this is probably why this doesn't work for us, but we still keep doing it. So I think my thought here would be just figure out how you can get with your IT team and try to segment as much as you can to make it more effective. That might be, stole this right from Melissa. Thank you. So this has been huge for us. So Lifetime Membership Plus, it's exactly how you explained it yesterday. So I'm stealing it. It's not really, it's kind of just an extra donation that Lifetime members can make. So while our numbers were going up, our revenue was not. And so we thought, what can we do to really increase revenue? Um, it's a $50 donation. We get people that make a higher donation. All they get is a gift once. I mean, it is exactly, Melissa, I stole it. It is exactly the same thing. Um, $50 or more annually. It's an annual program. We generated 25,000 in revenue in the first 6 months. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It was an easy thing to do. We do list them on a digital wall in our alumni center and they get an annual gift. Um, so I highly encourage you to look at something like this, especially if you need a little boost in revenue. It's also a way, if you think of it, to engage with life members who have been life members for a long time. So if they joined, and who knows what they joined for, because y'all, I've uncovered some things we used to do a long time ago, and I'm like, why did we let people join for like $1.50? Like, that's ridiculous. So it's a way for those people to kind of get back in the fold, both from an engagement standpoint as well as to help you with your revenue. So this one's a good one. I love it. It obviously helps with revenue. So I'm just going to show you this. I'm not going to read through it. And I think the thing I want to share here is we create a calendar. We get some things. There's things we always do. So we do a membership focus in our monthly newsletter. We do our renewal emails in our direct mail. That always happens. These are a lot of things we kind of try to do. So a member perk on social. You can see our like new grad life reminder that you can still do it if you graduated in June, just to kind of keep this consistent thing, and it kind of maps out. So also like this event coming up, we're gonna upgrade to life. You can say, hey, like I want to upgrade to life for a discount at that event. This sort of keeps us on track, and I try to follow this. This is last year, obviously. Because when this was due, I hadn't done FY27 yet. Um, so this is just how we sort of keep on track and keep things consistent. But then we're always just kind of, oh, hey, let's try this. Let's try this. Um, it may work if we do. And a lot of times that comes from our communications team too. So if they come across some sort of trend on social or something and they're like, hey, what if we did this with membership and kind of collaborated, then we just throw that in there. So again, this is the calendar. These are the things we try to do. I do want to mention this offer for CIC and annual giving graduates. So I was getting a lot of pressure from our board of governors to try to do some free memberships for like graduates. So we compromised and did a really small segment. I think historically we know that renewals for that age group or age range is very low. Ours was like less than 7%, but it's small. There's College of Information and Communications and Annual Giving. They're two different groups. It's less than 500. So I felt comfortable doing that as a test and a way to say, okay, we tried it. This is how it went. We can keep doing it. It's not a huge expense. We just send them digital cards. We don't do an actual kit to them. So if you want to try it and kind of see, I would recommend keeping your free memberships that you offer as low as few as possible. Um, those groups are especially are just not going to renew. Um, so yeah, these are all the things. These are all the things we do, and that was it. I think our calendar stays pretty consistent, and then we always like to just throw things in there as we can. So it's as all of y'all know from being here, like it's an ongoing effort. It takes a lot of time and effort, and it just keeps you just got to keep after it. So thank you.
Very good. Awesome work. So you switch their photo as you introduce them. Okay. This is Megan Duffy, everyone. So So Megan joined the Carolina alumni in May, Carolina alumni in May 2019. She serves as senior coordinator of membership and data management. She works behind the scenes, making sure the right alumni get the right message at the right time through data extracts, segmentation, reporting, and retention marketing campaigns. She is also the go-to for Salesforce Marketing Cloud data exports, God bless you, and supports everything from fulfillment operations and billing to inventory. She holds a BA from UNC Chapel Hill and a MRES. Nailed it. In primate biology, behavior, and conservation from the University of Roehampton. Outside of work, she enjoys dogs, coffee, and volunteering at a local tiger rescue where, get this, Feeding routines include throwing meat over a very high fence to waiting tigers, who are notably more responsive than many campaign audience segments. And on that note, Megan Duffy.
Thank you, Ethan. I'm really happy to be here. And this is really my time to shine. I'm very dorky. I get really in the weeds about details. And I work with a bunch of extroverts. You all know them. They all travel in a pack. And I'm just the weird one behind the scenes being like, but guys, I know that our table is beautiful, but we got to be there on time and get a good spot. So, like, that's me. Um, and so this is my time to shine. Like, we're really going to get into all of the weird little things and how annoying I am in the office. I'm like, we got to get this done. We got to be doing this because that's how you pick up the memberships. We have great campaigns, and then we have little weirdos behind the scenes making it all come together. So that's me, mapping it out, title. These are our basic stats. I mean, everybody's numbers are different. And honestly, when you look at the percentages of alumni to members, that's more what I'm looking at to kind of get a gauge on where we stand in the membership game. Like Laura, we are completely independent of the university. We don't receive any funding from the state. So what we get in membership, now biz dev, you know, all that kind of stuff, that's what we have to operate with. So our membership model is strong. It's important. And I'm adamant, and you know, our leadership thankfully is adamant that membership isn't going anywhere for a while. This is our status number. The average age of the member is 60. I don't know where that falls in with everybody, but that's where we are. We keep trying to lower it. If anybody figures out how to lower it, I tell you, you're going to retire and get a consulting job and come to camp and make a ton of money. But that's where we are. Here are just some stats on when you break down what the annual, I just did it with age just to kind of get an idea of how things fall. And to me, the most interesting thing is we do a really great job of getting seniors. We keep them retained for a year, and then something happens when you turn 30. I guess you have kids and you get focused on that. But like there's a real dip in what we're getting people to do. And I think that's something we'll continue to try and work towards. But again, if anybody cracks that code, please let us know. We'll probably give you some money to implement that for us. I make promises for Jen to follow through on all the time. We'll get into that. These are our rates. It's pretty standard across the board for for our alumni associations. Some are more, some are less. The one thing to note is we did do a $10 rate increase the last year. We told no one that it was happening. It just happened. We got crickets. So if you're going to do a rate increase, just do it. And you'll have a grace period where if people send you $50, you honor it, but then you just prorate and we all move along with our lives. There was no friction on that one. This is what you do when you don't have a Tableau, and I hate it. It's the daily Excel. It's terrible. It's vulnerable to attack. But luckily, I mean, one person can go in there and just wipe out all your data, and then you have a board thing due and you're 200 members less than you thought. And then Megan at the last minute has to do a bunch of exports and get it to where it is. So I'm in charge of this now, which means I think we're not going to do it anymore. We're really working with development. We're going to try and get what Laura has going on because this is insanity. Look at all those tabs. Like, no more. I mean, yeah. I mean, even if you zoom in on it, it's still a bunch of mess. Exactly. What are we doing? And now we come into my little happy zone. The systems and processes that drive acquisition and retention. First, we're going to start with acquisition. How do we get all these wonderful members to be little numbers in our daily Excel? It's a year-round effort. We have seasonal campaigns. There's fall, winter, and spring campaigns. Those happen seasonally. We change the themes, we change the premium, but we're doing that 3 times a year. We have a life member discount. We do it in February. That's about the time when we can be as optimistic lately as we're going to be about our basketball team. Often they come through and beat Duke for us. If they don't, it's still okay. People like a discount. But it's February. We need something to pick you up. Traditionally, it was a discount for adding a spouse, but the single ladies of the alumni membership team were like, no more. So we are discounting it for everybody. So everybody gets to save $100, not just people in a relationship. We have new grad campaigns. The May one is, a lot more involved, and we'll get into that. But don't sleep on December. Like those guys don't get a lot of glory. So just sending out an email offering them something free, their parents are all over that because it's a non-traditional time to graduate. So it's a very simple email. Our marketing team does a great job and we pick up proportionally. That's probably one of our highest returns on a very low investment. We have a print calendar campaign. As it turns out, people love to see pretty pictures of Carolina in the spring, in the summer, in the fall. Sometimes we put a football photo in. I don't think we're going to this year. But yeah, I mean, it's just a really easy visual thing that a lot of our audience really responds to. The birthday email journey, that Christina from Kentucky really stole my thunder because I was like, we're going to come in hot with a birthday email, but we send two versions of it. We send to all of our members. They get a $10 gift certificate to a local apparel store. That's really popular. But we do a journey to our non-members, offering them a discount on membership. It's not a ton of people doing it, but it's, 5 to 10 a month with zero effort. Like we design the email, it goes every day. I never think about it except for if I look in the birthday tab of the daily Excel. I'm like, oh, good job, birthday email. So that really just does a lot of behind the scenes work for me. We have a travel program and a Carolina Club. Those are non-negotiable. You want to travel with us, you want to join the Carolina Club, you have to be a member. I mean, it just is what it is. And luckily we have a buy-in from our senior staff that's like, yeah, we need member dues. This is the price of doing business with travel or the Carolina Club. And we don't really get pushback on that. But we're a big fan on the things that we can do with the least amount of effort. So like doing the hard work behind the scenes to get that implemented pays off a lot. Our seasonal efforts have a few things in common. We do print and email versions. They almost always have a member premium. Emails go to everyone, and the prints generally go to three types of audience. Our older alumni, like Laura said, they love mailing in checks. And if that's what you need to do to join, we'll mail you something and you can send a check right back. We also do just whoever in a lot of campaigns, because we have access to the university data, we can see the people who are sending stuff in by mail. So they're a really great segment to spend money on for print. If you like sending in a check, even if it's not to us, maybe you'll send it to us this time around. So we always look at who's joined by mail. And then we have the experimental segment. Sometimes we do young formers. Sometimes we do people without email addresses on file. As it turns out, they haven't updated their email because they're not super into us. So, that one didn't pan out. We do recent grads or we do specific geographic areas. I kind of blew the board members' minds when I let them know that Alabama has a surprisingly high amount of engaged alumni, that want to stay connected to us. So like just kind of going into data and finding random little facts and be like, hey, Alabama, we love you. Do you want to come, be more a part of what we're doing? So it's always a small segment. We do the experiment because we don't always know what's going to work. And so it's a pretty low stakes way just to see what hits. I mean, that's how we cottoned on to have joined by mail. Like we just tried it and it stuck. These are just the 3 campaigns we did this year. Jump Around, that's a big basketball song. It's a big song for me because you saw us at karaoke. I can't dance, but I can jump. So at basketball games, we're all jumping around. And this was a speaker idea that I think we got from Illinois last year at camp. And apparently, according to Andrea, it's booming. She's a big fan of that, but that was the return on that. With most of our seasonal campaigns, we're looking at about 200 to 300 as a solid year. Anything more than that, for that season is wonderful. And anything less than that, we're probably not going to do it again. So this was a really solid one. It was a cute little beanie. There was a lot of conversation on whether it's a beanie, it's a toboggan, or a winter hat. No one changed their mind. It was a lot of conversation for everybody to think the same thing. But we all agree that it was a really good promotion for us. We got really good numbers off of it. And I guess Keith, maybe he was right. The age 50 and over, when we called them a winter hat, they were like, yeah, that's my hat. I want to get it. And this is the saddest part. We went for basketball. It didn't work out. Our numbers were not amazing. We had a bit of a disappointment in basketball this year, but we do a member appreciation month. And what people weren't willing to pay, to join us, our current members were really happy about getting it for free during member appreciation month. So we had 900 members request, whatever year spoke to them. So like it was a fail in terms of membership, but it was a booming success in terms of engagement. So you learn what you learn. And if you have 20,000 decals that you want to get rid of, they're really easy to mail and people like them once they're already engaged with you. So that was the small silver lining on that campaign. This again is our life discount. You can see how it goes throughout the year. This year, no one thought Duke was going to win, but we did. So the marketing team, aka Andrea, got really in there to launch these emails right after the win. And we think that that really helped our numbers. It wasn't our best year, but it was our second best year. And just being able to celebrate a win together. I mean, different alumni like different things. I'm kind of intrigued by the whole volleyball vibe that they have going on here. And I feel like we could really do something with field hockey at Carolina, but it's learning what your school is good at and what speaks to them, and then just trying to shove stuff out the door. So Andrea maybe doesn't always like membership when we're like, hey, Andrea, do you want to stay up late and do this? But it pays off, and we're always really appreciative of that. This is our May New Grad campaign. I think a lot of you have that. We had really good numbers this year, but this guy is special. This guy is with a partnership with our Keenan Flagler Business School. We got them to buy the mugs, and it's the business in the front with, you know, our classy ram, and the party in the back, which is what we do at the Alumni Association. And business school, they are really affiliative. They love being able to network. They love being able to say they're from the business school. So that tends to be an audience that we focus a lot on just because they're joiners. And they want, you know, to be a part of that organization. But we really do like that mug, and we really do like that Keenan Flagler paid for it. These are our senior numbers. You can look at them. This number is really sad to me because apparently we just forgot to ask the person in charge of senior marshal last year to tell them that they needed to be members because it's supposed to be a requirement. So that feels like a big fail on my part personally, because that's supposed to be what I'm good at. But the senior grad fair, that's an event that we have that we argue about with the programs team all the time because it's very transactional, and it kind of just feels like when they come, it's what they do and they join. And so the reviews are not always amazing, but then we retain them at a pretty steady rate. So like maybe they don't know why they're joining, but once they join and they get all the benefits, they like it. So programming kind of wants to do away with it, but we're like, no, like come up with a good event and get us in the room because we can sell memberships. We can make it feel like it's what you're supposed to do. And then we can keep them as members because they've already bought into it and they see the value that they're getting. So it's just a conversation, making sure that that stays a part of our acquisition projects. I did this ranking. It's not authorized by anyone but me, but these are the events that Megan likes in terms of fun and getting members. And our Black Alumni Reunion is solid. But what that is it's a whole weekend full of programming. It's really great programming that that particular group is bought into, and we are able to offer really good discounts for all of that programming. So like the person who does Black Alumni, she is great. She's like, yeah, membership is important. Membership is why we get paid. So they'll do really good discounts for that. And so it's kind of working with the different programmers to make sure that they are doing enough programming and bringing the member value to all of our events. Heels House, it's a good event if you don't have the most embarrassing football team in the country. And I think it really has the legs. But the point of that is to get people in the door and to give them something happy to have on a football day. So like it's a great event in terms of that. And once, you know, there's a lot more to celebrate with football, I think it'll turn into a good acquisition event, but it's still in the infancy stages. Although that hat, like we've gotten a really good idea about having that be the member experience at Heels House. You come, you get your patch for every different Heels House if you're a member. And so everyone you can come and get your patch made, but it's members only. So that's a baby idea, but it's something that we will maybe be able to report back on next year. Jen, I'm looking at Jen. She's nodding. So again, I don't ask anybody. I just do what I do, and we'll see where it lands. We have opportunistic one-off campaigns, like the Keenan Flagler one was a good example of that. That's Roy Williams. He's a basketball coach that we liked. We literally just sent out a mailer to certain populations with Roy and like, oh, it's Roy. I've got to have that issue. And they join. So whenever something good happens with our magazine and they have a really good cover, we'll do a campaign around it and we'll pick up memberships. And then the final one we're going to talk about is our influencer campaigns. This is a newer one. It's done in part to amplify our brand. I don't know if you know this, but we rebranded a few years ago. We used to be the General Alumni Association. No one knew what it meant. And we went to Carolina Alumni. So we started doing paid social media, mostly to promote the brand, but we have, you know, really influential people. Marcus Ginyard is a former basketball player. Megan Taylor has a really big following for her All She Wrote notes. And so one of their posts is just, hey, we like Carolina Alumni. We're members. If you join, you'll get a discount. You'll get a Yeti. And so it's still in the infancy stages, but it's something that we've tried, and I think we feel good about where it's going, and we're going to keep doing that. And now we get into retention, the real boring part, or exciting if you're named Megan, part of what we're doing. And we have a pretty comprehensive retention program. We have the auto-renewing members. Those are the dream members, because once they get in there, they renew at a pretty good rate. But to get them to renew 2 months out, we send them a note with a notepad saying, hey, this is your credit card on file. Is it right? No, well, let us know. We want to hear from you and update that. 1 month out, we have a Salesforce journey that was built, I don't know, 4 years ago. I never think about it. It just happens, and people come in to renew their thing. Like, those Salesforce journeys have legs. Like, if you can do it, because it is the easiest investment with the biggest return. The day of charge, that's the big day. We see who has updated their membership and goes through, or their credit card and goes through. And for the people who didn't update their credit card, we still do some recovery efforts on those. So it's a very specific process. Maybe they forgot, and when you reach out to them, you put them on the spot and they retain them. So it is fairly labor intensive, but we do get a pretty return just on following up with them. And again, we have those Salesforce recovery emails that go out. So they go out every few days, and they stop doing the people who've rejoined since then. Annual members, this is our smallest group. It gets smaller every year, but as long as we have people who are renewing by mail, we'll do it. We have 3 sends, 1 2 months out, 1 month of, 1 month out and 1 month of. And we do the emails out. Again, we have a birthday journey that they go into until their membership renews. Once people fall out of that month where they expire, we have 3 different ways that we try and get them back. The first is the "We Miss You" letter. It's 2 rams cuddling. We want you to be the little ram, and we'll be the big ram, welcoming you back into our arms. We do what's called the Veronica or the Camdria letter. Those are pretty straightforward. It's either a letter from our president or a letter from our young alumni people, in thoughts that they will know some of them. And our final letter is called the Jess letter. Sadly, I don't know if any of you remember Jess, but she has since retired to take care of her baby. But we think, and based on market research that I've been doing, Devon might be the new face of the Jess letter or the young alumni letter, or both, because who doesn't want to get a nice mail with Devon looking professional saying, hey, let's renew. And finally, people love this magazine. So when they don't get the magazine, they call us and say, why? And we're like, oh, well, you didn't renew. Like, oh, if I renew, can I get the magazine issues that I missed? Absolutely. So they do the work on that one. And the marketing team under Andrea just makes a really good magazine that people really like. And again, it's passive, but it works to get people who may have fallen out of the renewal cycle. Final thoughts? Trust the process. I don't know that guy. Jen does. She said that's someone who said it. But we have processes that work. And I stand by that. Like, you don't always know why you're doing. You don't always know why Megan is coming up to you being like, hey, have we done this yet? Come on, we got to do this. But you trust the process, and our numbers are good. We feel good about our numbers. It's over half of our income is from membership dues. So we trust the process. And Joel and Embiid? Yes. Consider all options, recognize history. I like being a little bit of a wild card. You guys might have figured that out. So we like having that experimental segment. You never know what's going to hit, but sometimes you know exactly who's going to hit. And those are the people that come through for you. Those are your boomers who just renew every year because it's what they do. So when we can celebrate those with a member perk, we do that, and we do what we can to retain them. And finally, membership, membership, membership. If you take nothing away from this, be annoying, be in people's face. I always threaten to get a big life-size photo of me, but now it's going to be Devon, and just put it in all of the meeting rooms, being someone with membership coming out. What is the value in your program? What is the member benefit? Why would this make someone want to be a member? And to that, our unofficial team mascot is the membership trash pandas. We're peeking from around the corner, looking, being like, hey guys, what's the member benefit? In the staff meeting, anything else to add? Oh, has anybody gotten any new members? Like, what are we doing? How are membership playing into this? And luckily we have the buy-in from our president. She recognizes the value, so she gives us a lot of license to really stick our noses in where it absolutely belongs, to try and get membership. So with that, turn over to Ethan.
Good job. A lot of good one-liners. I think my favorite was good job, birthday email. So Jeff Sheldon, because I forgot to buy him. Jeff Sheldon, everyone. Hey, thank you for presenting. There's little gifts. Appreciate you guys. All right, so we'll do questions. I think we have, I don't know, whatever, 20. Oh, yeah, we got tons of time. So, yeah, so we have at least 20 minutes for questions. So, I'm going to start with one quick question for each of you. And then if you guys have questions, we'll just pass the mic around. So, Laura, my question for you is the $10 donation thing. What was the back end mechanics of that as far as did they actually get credit for a donation or did you get the full membership price like revenue wise?
Yes and no. So we basically just took the total. We didn't I'm trying to think what order you asked that in. It was a full price membership. So you just paid on the like through the website, your check came in and we just calculated the total number and then did $10 for internally, $10 for every membership and then just sent a check to the community shop.
And did they get credit like on their account? Okay, I got you.
So our membership platform in our database lives separately from the gift platform. So it doesn't count as a gift. So like if you look up my name, it doesn't look like I gave $55 to the university. It's just a membership join fee. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And then Megan, question for you is your licensing people must love you because if I tried to do like a mug or sticker like that, I would be shot. Do you run into any licensing issues or?
For that to Andrea, our marketing team, they say what's good.
Yes, we run everything we do by licensing. We have an incredible relationship with them. So for that mug, as long as we're not cannibalizing the actual registered trademarks and we do our own original depiction or anything like that, then we're always a-okay. But we do run every single thing by because the time that I did it, our licensing guy was at a bar and saw a growler we did up on a shelf. And then I got a call that Monday morning and I learned my lesson once. So now I'm on our best behavior.
All right, thank you and welcome. All right, who has a question?
Thank you both. This is really great. I have a question for Megan about your birthday email to members that includes the $10 gift certificate. Do you guys pay for the certificates that get used, or do you just get those from the local store and they just honor it for whoever uses it?
We get them from the local store. People are a lot more excited about getting it than actually redeeming it. So, and the people that do redeem it never just spend $10. So they're just like, yeah, if you bring them in the door, they're going to spend more than $10. So it's not a huge people that redeem it. It's a lot of people that say, thank you. I'm happy to get it this year. If something happens and they don't get it, we hear from them, but they don't actually redeem at a rate that the vendor has ever really felt compelled to have us give them money back.
Got it. Thank you.
I wanted to wait till you back.
Megan, this is for you. On the influencers that you have, are they people that are contracted for the university as well as influencers? Are they just yours? And do you pay them? Like how does that relationship work with your influencers?
They are just ours. It's a program in its beginnings. Megan Taylor, we used to work for the Alumni Association, so we have a really good relationship with her. And Marcus Ginyard is on our board in the membership committee, so that was really helpful. But we do give them money, like it's a paid contract. And our marketing team is looking for influencers, that they're able to elevate the brand and hopefully promote more membership. I mean, we feel really good about the returns that we got on that. So it's something that's still in the early stages, but yeah, it's paid.
Hold on, please.
I just want to say amazing job to um your table, the baby blue like marketing and everything. My question is for the merch. I always struggle with uh purchasing merch. Does that come straight from your budget, or do you have a sponsored business partner that gives you guys like free merch to feature to your membership campaigns? That would
That
be my
is from
question.
the membership budget for us. It's a weird thing because when people join, there's like a thing that they can say on the fill out form, why did you join? And a lot of times it's, I love Carolina. I'm so proud to be an alumni, but they don't join until there's merch. And so it's kind of worth the investment. Like they may love us enough, but like they see something that triggers something in them and then they'll join. So we pay for it out of the membership budget because it is worth the small investment just to be like the tipping point for people who already love what we're doing.
We don't currently do a ton of merch yet. I think we're going to look into that in the next year. So currently what we do is our life boxes. Those are about $40 each, I think. And then an annual, but those I think are 7. So it's an annual, what do you call it? T-fold. And it just has something in it that what is in there? I forgot. Oh, luggage tag, because it's cheaper to just insert it into the actual mailer. So that we do those 2 things that comes out of our membership budget. And then we haven't done anything else merch wise where we've done like, join and get a gift kind of situation. We're looking at it next year, but we tried to keep our whole membership budget under 100,000. So our spend is under 100,000 total. But we'll see. We may be getting into some more items in the future, but it would come out of membership.
Yay, Megan, that was awesome. My question's for Laura because I already know everything Megan does. Uh, so we do a lot of premium campaigns, like noted, but I noticed a lot of your campaigns are discounts, kind of is the motivating factor. And when we do our campaigns, if someone received it, even if they don't join off of mailing that in, we do mail them the gift if they received it. So I'm curious about the discount. Do they need to actually join directly through, or is it like everyone? Is it a limited time? Like, how do you kind of manage who gets the discount, how long the discount's valid for, and that messaging?
Most of our discounts are based off of a time frame. So in order to create, it's actually a whole brand new page that we have to create within the website it's essentially just a new cost amount. So instead of it costing $55 on, a normal day, it now costs 40, and it looks like it's just $40. So it's not actually like click here and then it drops down to 40. So we just do it by time. So we just say, all right, this page will take over for the regular page from, October 1st through the 7th. That is probably not the most efficient way to do it. And I wish we could figure out a better way to actually offer discounts so that you could kind of see, how when you shop, you can see the percent and that kind of thing. But it doesn't do it that way.
And so they're normally, other than the join in June, about like a week.
Yeah. So obviously June is the whole time frame. And then the new grad life is always an offer. So you can get that essentially. I'm like, fine, you graduated 5 years ago, you can have it. So we kind of it's pretty flexible around how long we want to offer it.
I will say and I apologize, my brain is fried. Well, who raised their prices and didn't mention it? Okay, Megan, thank you. So one thing I will echo is we recently did raise our prices and we made a huge ass deal about it to do the FOMO thing. But to echo what Megan said, we got one phone call and it was from one senior member that was asking why we raised. So we got rid of our senior annual discount, which I think we did this big study. I think there's only maybe 5 or 6 schools that have that of the 40 that we studied. But anyway, the one person that did call, she was more mad about what our joint membership and what that meant and versus the individual. And she was trying to convince me that I should only charge her half of what a joint member does. And I think I may have laughed on the phone. I'm like, no. Like, that's not what that's for. And she accused me. Yeah, it was interesting. But beyond that, we did not get a single complaint. We let everyone know. And in fact, like, we did a huge campaign, obviously. And like the very next day, so we raised prices July 1. July 2nd, we sold like 2 life memberships at our new rate. So like it's just insane. It's crazy. So if like I obviously everyone has to do their own thing, but if you're thinking about raising your membership rates, at least our experience was not very scary. It was there was a lot of trepidation about it, but I just wanted to echo that.
Well, and I'll just add a brief thing onto that. When we launched Lifetime Membership Plus, we had a couple people internally who thought, oh, life members are going to be really mad because they thought, oh, well, this I paid for life. Why are you asking me for more money? And we maybe 2 people called and said that. So to get the amount of revenue that you get and the engagement that you get, it really kind of it's worth it and insignificant if you get. So we kind of kept it on the down low. That expert would like to talk more about that.
One thing I would say now that we've done the Life Plus program for, well, God, now it's been 6 years. I would definitely say have a way for you to code those people if they don't want those Life Plus solicitations, because we did get some, not very many, but we occasionally will get them every year. We'll get a couple that are just a little irritated because they're life members and they're still getting asked for another membership, is what they would like to call it. So just have a way to get them removed. For us, it's real easy. We put a service indicator on them. They don't get that any more membership solicitations. This will get everything else, all the life member stuff. But yeah, that's still not tons. Still totally worth the money.
Just drop them out so they don't keep harassing you.
Thanks so much. So do y'all have like an annual membership plus, or is it just for life memberships?
It's just for life membership. So annual is just $55. You can auto renew. We'll remind you if you're not on auto renew, etc. It's just life members, and it's a donation. It's not even really. We don't even call it. We don't even really call it a tier. It's kind of just like you're giving beyond your membership. We have all this fancy language like extend your commitment, blah blah blah. But no, it's just an extra like, hey, keep supporting.
But only like the life members can do the life membership plus
Yeah,
and donate.
and
But,
we really only ask the life we only market it to life members.
okay. I see. Thank you.
I have a 14-year-old and 12-year-old, so I'm comfortable with silence. We'll just sit here. Any final questions? Any final? All right. Well, let's clap again then. Thank you, ladies. Okay, so a couple quick housekeeping items. So the next thing is sponsor expos. So once again, we just want to reiterate, sponsors are very important to us. We're sure you knocked out a lot of sponsors yesterday. So on behalf of the sponsorship committee, we just want to remind everyone, it's totally cool if you go up and just kind of take a break for a little bit. But if you can take at least 20, 30 minutes and just kind of walk around one last time and just ask any questions, just to make our sponsors feel really, really, thank them and all that stuff. So obviously take the breaks if you need them. So if you can do that, and then obviously after that will be our prize drawings, and that's, I can't remember what time that's at, but that will be in the auditorium. There'll be an announcement throughout the entire building, so make sure you show up there. One other plug I want to make is, so this afternoon session is our listserv live, which is basically the email listserv, but live in person. Literally what we're going to do is we're going to have a 5-minute clock up here, and we're literally going to have open mic. So if you have a thought, if you have a question, share, a challenge, whatever it is, start thinking about that. And it's not necessarily going to be moderated, but we'll walk around with the mics and all that stuff. So just kind of free flowing. The other thing I will talk about too is how many people are part of the membership cabin? Okay. How many people have no clue what the membership cabin is? That's totally cool. So just real quick, and we'll talk a little bit more about that during the Listserv Live, but the membership cabin it's basically the Listserv Live thing that we're going to do this afternoon. We do it once a month on Zoom. It's typically Thursdays. I think it's the third or fourth Thursday, like around 2 o'clock hour Central Time. But basically, it's a group. Sometimes we'll have 8 people there. Sometimes we'll have 20 people there. And basically, we're just trading ideas and talking through things. So if you have any interest in being a part of that, send me an email. You can figure out how to get my email address somewhere. So just send me an email and we'll get you added to that. So we're going to talk a little bit about the membership cabin to open Listserv Live. So beyond that, is there any other housekeeping things? I think that's it. So what time is it? 10 o'clock. So we're done just a smidge early. And I think Biz Dev is obviously still probably meeting in banquet hall. So feel free to leave the room if you like. But like anytime after 10:10, you have free roam of the building. But make sure you visit our sponsors again. So, all right. Thank you, everyone.